Hi friends, it's Kim, and I came out to a local park, and it's not, just kind of in my area, and gonna take a walk. And then I thought, I've got some things I want to talk about, so why not do it here out in the woods. I'm mainly talking about, okay, here's where it started. So it's all about makeup and anti-aging and my thoughts around that. So my granddaughter's first birthday party was this past weekend, and I decided I was going to put a little bit of makeup on. I was going to try to put a little eyeliner on and some mascara on, and because one day, 30 years from now, or whenever I might be gone, she might see a picture of her grandmother at her party. And so I kind of put the makeup on, and then as the time hours went on past that, I'm like, wow, she is not going to care one bit, and there is nobody that would be at that party that would care, or that would ever see the video that would care. So this just kicked off this whole thing in my head about wearing makeup, and I guess understanding why women in particular feel the need to wear makeup and cover our faces up. And it made me also realize how awful it feels to have makeup on. Like, what's the matter with your skin? The way it is right now, you don't need to cover it up. This is, I think we're so programmed just from the beginning innately that we are supposed to wear makeup. We are supposed to cover our flaws, and we are supposed to hide imperfections, and that if we don't, we are less than in some way, like we're not put together, or general terms that way, or people are just downright mean. Like, look at Pamela Anderson, and she's out there she's still wearing makeup, mind you, but she's trying to not wear so much eye makeup, and the public and the world and news sources are just all over her, lambasting her for needing to be more put together, and she's on the red carpet, and just all these kind of feelings about why she should wear makeup. And it's just so ridiculous when you think about it. I mean, this is coming from someone who I spent 90% of my adult life and teenage years wearing makeup and thinking that I had to, and in order to feel good or feel put together. Or there was a time in my life I wouldn't have left the house without makeup on. Yeah, really, really bad way to grow up. And if you look at historically, if you look at the trends, it's always changing. So you look at the 20th century alone, and there were the 1920s, and there was the flapper look, and you had to have your hair short, and it was the Cupid, bow lips, the Clara bow lips, the bright red, and women being more bold with colors and things like that. And I recognize that initial transition to kind of, women are like, okay, we're going to come forward, empowerment. This is right around the time that we gain the right to vote. All of these different aspects play into that, social decisions, obviously. But then you transition to the 40s, 50s, and you've got the bright red, bold lip statements, and the I Love Lucy lips, that kind of a look, Marilyn Monroe, that kind of thing. So there's what you're attaining now. You're trying to get to that point. Then there's the 60s, where things lighten up a little bit, and you transition to that 60s, 70s, where women are wearing frosty pink and bright blue eyeshadow, and then there's that look for that period that you had to wear. And then you go into the 80s, which I actually experienced that one. And it was heavy eye makeup, and just covering everything up, and you float a little bit further into the late 80s and 90s, and it's tweezing your eyebrows, which I over tweezed like crazy, so your eyebrows are thinner and you have a point and definition. So then, say around the year 2000, that's when I hit, I was 35 in the year 2000, and at that point, then you start noticing some wrinkles, on your face, and you notice around the eyes and the forehead in particular. My pain point was always right here, the 11s, the marks on your forehead. So I started buying anti-aging creams and serums and all these things that are supposed to help slow down you know, this path of aging that's going to show on your face. And I don't even know how much money that I spent on those products. I've done everything from over-the-counter L'Oreal's and things like that, you know, to like LifeCell, where I was paying several $100s a month at least for these skincare products, and they did help a little bit at the time for a very short amount of time, but as soon as you stop using them, it kind of wears off. And let's be honest, nothing is going to completely stop the path of time. You know, if you are lucky, and I mean this with all sincerity, if you are lucky enough to make it to your 50s, then you are really lucky, and you should be happy that you made it there. There's things that you're bringing into this age that don't involve how your face look. There's more to your content of your character matters so much more than lines or eyeliner. I mean, those things just, you know, if you use those things, why are you using it? Like, what's the benefit that you're receiving? And you say, oh, well, I feel better about myself. But why do you feel better about yourself? You feel better about yourself because society, the world, advertising, AI, filters, all these things tell you that you are less than if you are not using these products. I mean, and think about this. There's something like 75% of women globally wear makeup, and it's like an over $650 billion industry. So what would happen if women were taking some of that money back, and this is your money, and instead of spending it on face cream or designer makeup or anti-aging products, go somewhere, take a trip, take a weekend away, go out to dinner with a friend or your spouse, or, you know, buy something cute for the house, buy some flowers for spring. There's a billion things that you could do with that money instead of putting it on your face to try and stop something that's inevitable. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's inevitable that we're aging, but it's a good thing that we're aging. We're different people, and you know, this is really going out, this message is for people that are my age, so over 55. I'm 59 now, I'll be 60 the end of this year, and if I'm lucky, and that's really who the messaging is directed towards. But if you're younger and you happen to be watching this, then the message is for you to really pay attention to the why. Why do you feel like you need to wear makeup? Why do you need to feel like you need to halt the tracks of time? I mean, we have the ability with Botox and all of these things, you know, fillers to erase lines. And I will be the first one to tell you and admit that I tried Botox. I did Botox for several years in somewhere around the 2008 to 2007 to 2010 period, somewhere in there. But, you know, and it helped. This looks younger. But you know what, it's not worth the money, the time, and you're taking a hit to where your self-respect and the feeling of your, like, who you are. Gosh, I'm really stumbling here, but this was really a stream of consciousness thing. Like, I you know, came out to walk and it was bothering me so much, and I thought, oh, well, I'll do a video while I'm walking and just talk about it. But then I thought, no, I'll park and I'll talk about it. And yeah, so I want to know why do you feel like, if you're watching this and you wear makeup, why do you need to cover it up? Why do you need to cover up who you are? And do you feel like it's a better, more polished version of yourself? Okay, well, why? Why does that make you more polished? Why can't you be just as polished, just as cool without it? Yeah, so I know this is a lot of rambling, but that's just my thoughts. Like, I don't get it. And the more I'm traveling a path myself, so I'm not like preaching anything here, because I'm on the same path. Just this past weekend, I was trying to put eyeliner on, but it's such a realization why I don't do it anymore. You know, when I realized how I felt like a painted clown. I felt like my skin felt gross. I tried to put some powder on, you know. I mean, it was so unnecessary. but I'm definitely on this path as well. And right now, all I do is I use whatever I buy over the counter, probably from like Marshall's, where the skincare products are marked down, and get a decent moisturizer that's got some sunscreen on it. So, because my poor skin does not need any more sun damage from what it's already gotten when I put it through the years of tanning beds in the 90s and the early 2000s. So here's my advice. Young or my age, whatever age you are, be yourself. Recognize that your value doesn't lie in your face or your skin and how that looks. And also, it's better for your body. We tend to forget that our skin is our largest organ, and everything that we put on it, we're ingesting just as if we swallowed it. So if you don't understand or know what the ingredients are in and the products that you're using, consider thinking about it, and why is it important enough to put that in your body. You would think about it before you swallowed it, but it's so easy to forget that when we're putting it on our skin. So there we go. There's my rant, and I hope this may have resonated with someone. You are good the way you are. You are important the way you are, and you look fabulous the way you are. You don't need anything extra. So there we go. I hope everyone has a great day without makeup.